Anna-Louise Cecil and Jack Cecil. So if you'll come on up, and then you'll also, after they talk about World Changers, Anna-Louise is going to share a little bit with you about her trip to Peru that she just returned home from.
Hey guys. I'm just going to talk about World Changers, and I didn't know about this till last night, so I'm going to wing it. Let's see. Last year, my experience at World Changers was very, not like everyone else's. It was very hard, I didn't like it, and it wasn't fun for me. It was fun for everyone else. So I didn't really want to go back. But I did. I decided to give it another shot, and I learned a lot about myself that week. I learned that it's very easy for Americans especially to be judgmental. Like, with first impressions, they meet someone and they're like, oh, that person's annoying, or that person, we're not going to get along. So when I first met my group, they were super obnoxious. I first met them, I didn't like my group. I wasn't excited about it. But then over the course of the week, I heard some testimonies, and they were just, all over incredible. And I learned that, it's very easy for us to judge people from first impressions. And then by the end of the week, they were like my family, and I still keep in contact with most of them. And it was just, we got along, we helped build this family's house, and I thought the family was strange when I first met them, but at the end of the week, they were like my family. And incredible stories, like things you wouldn't believe. If you want to hear about them, you can come to me, and I can tell you about them. They're just incredible. And so I really learned something about myself that week. So World Changers is, gotten to be like something very special to me. I learned to really just, share my faith and go out and really help people in any way I can. And even if it's very difficult and it's not fun for me, it's not about me. And so I just learned that, everyone should go out and help in any way they can. And so that's just what I got from World Changers. So I'm just going to hand it off to Jack. His experience is a little bit different than mine.
Well, I've gone to World Changers for the past 2 years, which was Cincinnati 2 years and Chattanooga last year. And one thing about the two cities is that it's inner city. It's rough. I mean, it's not like a small town. It's inner city basically. And so going into that, I had that in the back of my mind. So I'm worried going in. So. And then, before that, I wasn't real strong in the youth group either, so I'm going into Cincinnati, not really having any friends, not knowing anyone in the youth group. And that all changed really after this week. After the Cincinnati, I got stronger with the youth group, my relationship with God got stronger. It was just, it's a really great experience. And World Changers it's always been part of my heart, and it's always been very special to me. And it's always just been special. And one thing that I've learned after the 2 weeks is it's made me very humble, because we don't know how good we have it here. So, there's just people on the streets, and they're just living in poverty. It's very sad to look at, and what's cool is that we have the power to change that. We can help these people, and that's was really special to me as well. And another thing, in Chattanooga, when we did Meals on Wheels, which was we delivered food to families and people who need you don't have meals. The lady that I was speaking to. She was 101 years old. That's probably the oldest lady I've ever met. I mean, I loved her. I mean, she was just great. I mean, she was just, to me, she wasn't real sad or down. I mean, she hasn't seen Chattanooga. She hasn't seen Chattanooga in 6 years because she's just sitting in her room. And one thing that was really cool was that she was just blessed. Like she talked about like how blessed she was and how thankful she was to have a son, like a son to help her out and be with her. And the son was like 60 years old, so I mean he's way too old for this too. But I mean it was just great to see. I mean of course she was crying because she was so thankful for what we were doing. But I mean she was never real, like she wasn't complaining, she wasn't like sad or anything. I mean she was just happy. I mean she was just happy to be alive, and she's thankful for us. I mean, so I mean that was also very special for me. So yeah, all around I just had just an incredible week, and I highly and strongly recommend that y'all do missions no matter where you go, whether it's like Peru or Belize or even Richmond. I mean, they need help. They really do. And so I just like really highly recommend that y'all do that. So thank you. Sing a song? You going? Oh yeah.
Alright, so you get to hear from me twice today. Let's see. Peru, I don't even know how to begin with Peru. Peru was, at the beginning, I didn't really want to go. I wanted to go, of course, but the money was very difficult. Raising it, trying to pay for it, it was just really stressing me out. I almost backed out, because every time I thought I had enough, they would be like, oh, another $100 or another $500, and it just got to me. Like, I was stressing out. I had a bad attitude about it by like the first couple days. But then I got myself together, I packed way more than I needed to, and I just, I got it together. And I went down there, and I'm like, it's going to be really awkward. I don't know anyone of these people here. And also, I don't know how to evangelize. I did not know how to evangelize. This is my first mission trip out of the country. Like, this is my first time leaving my home and what I know. So, Peru is very different from America. The people there, they have no hope. They live to die. And live is very, a strong word. They basically survive. They live day by day in these small villages, and they don't have a lot that we have. They are looking for something to look forward to. So, evangelizing in America and in Peru is very different, because you walk out on the streets and they're like, oh, it's a white girl, what is she doing here? And they're like, what are you doing here? They want to know. And so I was like, well, I'm just gonna, share my faith and just see what happens. I'm not gonna see these people again. That was my motto the whole week. I was like, if I mess up, I'll never see them again. It'll be fine. So, yeah. So I just went around, and it's not door to door like what I thought it would be. You find a person, and then they tell their families, and those families want to meet you, and then those families tell more families, and they want to meet you. And by the end of the week, you've got like a church on your hands that you're talking to. So it wasn't what I thought it would be, and they were very open to hearing what you have to say. And in some of the pictures, you'll see like a group of teenage boys. They basically run the village. They play soccer. They just run the village. And so when I went to go talk with them, they were pretty skeptical of me. They're like, who are you? What are you doing here? But then by the end of the week, they wanted to start their own Bible study. It was just incredible. These boys were going around telling people, you just don't do that in America. You just don't. Most people want to hide their faith. They're like, oh, let's not talk about it, But because it's hopeless, they want to tell people about hope. They want to share with others, and it's just, incredible. And these people, in one of the pictures, you're going to see a man with no legs, everyone surrounding him. And that man, he has a lot to complain about. He lives on about $60 a month, and he's homeless, but he's the happiest man I think I've ever met. He was a Christian, and he had found God, and he was like, that's all I need. And it was just, incredible to think about, because Christians here, we complain about a lot. I complain about a lot. You can ask anyone. But there, I just know, that man was just happy. He was content with his life. And it was just inspiring to see him like that. And in Peru, you're in the middle of the mountains. It's crazy. You're in the middle of nowhere. You are plopped in the middle of South America, and if you get lost in the mountains, you're gone. You're dead. So it's just crazy the way that things are there. Yeah, that's one of the villages right there. You can see how they live. They pretty much build their own houses. You have a translator. I can't speak Spanish, but some of my best friends that I now have speak nothing but Spanish. It's nothing you wouldn't see before. I've never spoken in front of anyone about my faith, and by the end of the week, I'd spoken in front of a whole church, and then I spoke on the